Welcome here. In this video tutorial I'll show you how to make some neat hit effects. And first of all, as you can see on the screen, we have this neat little game. You put it out and you just hit, and well, there's almost nothing happening. But for example, if you hit, something is missing and you're not sure because it already looks good but it doesn't feel right. So how can you fix that? For example, if the bat is hitting you, for example, this could happen. And well, it's like night and day. And what you are seeing is three things. First of all, a Screenshake followed or immediately with the blinking of the screen into a red color, and then a particle effect which is just emitting from the center of the player, wherever you want to hit it. And these three things are very nice visual eye candy which you can do and put additionally into your game, so it just feels better and it feels right. Because for example, if something is getting hit like the player and he is a high priority target, you want it to be visually represented. For example, if you're hitting the enemy with your sword, maybe you want to do, well, let's say a smaller hit effect, which is I don't know, a small screen shake but no blinking, and maybe it's a little particle effect coming from this thing, for example a red one, because you're hitting an animal. So how is this being done? This you do with the hit controller, and I call it that, but you can call it whatever you like. This is just being created once an event of hitting or collision happens, and then you just say, do you want a screen shake, do you want a blinking of the screen, and then for example, do you want a particle system, and then you just put them into the hit controller, and then you just produce multiple ones. For example, one when the player is being hit, and for example if you're hitting an enemy which is like an animal or maybe sometimes like a stone monster, and then you just do different things and just mix and match so it feels right. So the player always have additional visual representation of what is happening. And for example, if you're hitting something, this is quite important. So how is this thing set up? What I do is, again, a lot of times I just put in my camera, but you don't have to do it. For me it's just easier, so I can assign the middle of the screen. And then of course the particle system, which is just this particle setup which you have to put into the room so it's being initialized. So let's go back into our controller. Here you just go through those three steps, and for example you can store it into a variable, your shake, and just say right with the duration and the amount. For example, if you don't know how a screen shake is being done, I have a video on that, link in the description. And the other thing is the particle system. That again is something I did in another video, so I won't be showing this one here for you. The only thing I'm going to be showing you is the blinking, because that I haven't shown. So let's go right into our blink screen. Here I just delete all this stuff so you see how this works. What do we need here? Basically we just grab the middle value of our screen, and this I just call get middle X and get middle Y, and these values are just from your screen and it just goes into the middle. And I grab them from my camera. So I get camera and display width and display height, and then of course I get the middle because I don't want to go into the bottom right corner of the screen. But here, for example, if you're doing something else, but you have to, for example, do get display function which you can put in here. And well, the next thing is you want to draw something, and you draw it in the GUI because you want to put it on the full screen. And that's why, for example, you have to get the display width, not the camera width, because this is a static thing which is just sitting in the middle. And here I just draw a rectangle which is just 64 by 64. There's nothing special about this one, it's just centered in the middle. And what I do with it, I just multiply it by 50 on the X and Y scale. And well, this is just basically it. And here I just position it in the middle position of our screen with a specific alpha, which I didn't show you. So the alpha is, let's say, the create event, we go for a 0.5, but for example, if you want to have a smooth transition, you can put it, for example, in a step event and just go to 0.5 and then just again to 0 with the timer. But here I just do the very basic, easy version. This is just the flashing. And the last thing is I just put in an alarm That is a quarter of the second. After that it just goes and runs out, and then we say instance destroy. So we don't have that anymore, so we have our blinking. But for example, you can do different kind of blinkings. For example, the red would be pretty decent for, let's say, if you're getting hit, that the player is getting hit. But for example, if a rocket is hitting some stuff, maybe you want to have and let it blink white, or sometimes blink yellow. There are different kind of ways how you can do that. And basically the Screenshake is here. You just do it for a duration and an amount, and you just grab camera values. Through the time you just shake it a little bit, and then you have an alarm which is going for the shake duration. Once it runs out, it repositions and just destroys itself. And the last thing is just my particle setup. Here, this is just a particle system like the other ones. There's nothing special about it. It's just going through those steps and, well, spawning a little particle. This little sprite here. There's nothing special about it. It's just like 5x5, and I just let it like go from the middle, and I wanted to go for a random direction from the center, so we just go from 0 to 359, and then with a speed of 1.5, but you can change it depending on your sizes and what you want, and then we just let it decrease a little bit so it feels a little bit nicer. And then once we go back into here, we just say, alright, we just want to create the particle, which the code is particle create, and refer to our particle system which we are having here, and just create the particle we want and just 30 of them. This is it. So once to recap it again, 3 steps, and depending on what you want to do, you just store those things in a variable. And there you can, for example, change, mix and match, whatever you like. And this is the thing how you can make your game much better. That was it. Have a good one. One up indie.